To all believers and followers of Jesus Christ, the Good Friday and the entire Easter weekend begins one of the most important reminders of the grace of God on humanity. Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Romans, in chapter 5, verse 8, tells us, and I quote, "God demonstrates his own love for us in this, that while we were sinners, Christ died for us," close quote. No man can die for another, let alone for one who transgresses. But God sent his own Son to restore to us what was lost by humanity. The Easter weekend, therefore, is a moment to reflect on our journey as Ugandans in the last 1 year, to forgive each other because God forgave us a bigger sin, to reconcile ourselves to the things we must do to keep our country growing, even if we might be under pressure by circumstances to do otherwise, and to seek wisdom in the example of Jesus. The prophet Isaiah in chapter 33 verse 6 teaches us that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your times. Jesus was a philosopher, he was a teacher, he was a great communicator, he was a worker, he was a healer, he was a reconciler, and above all, he was a savior who restored man's greatest need, the need to reconnect to our soul, to our Creator. He never allowed bigotry, never allowed tribal, cultural distinctions to stand in the way of his mission. He rooted for the smallest, the weakest, the ignored, the ostracized, the poor. We see this example in his encounter with the woman at the well in the Gospel of John chapter 4 verse 1 to 12. Jesus, who was a Jew, in an ancient society which barred men from talking to women directly, even more a woman who had a morally challenging social past, he, Jesus, still found a way to go against the cultural constraints of his time, and he held a deep, transformative conversation with that lady about her future, and he deliberately ignored her past. Jesus used the water meeting point, the well, as the great common ground to bring spiritual renewal and insight to this Samaritan woman, and in turn, he changed the lives of an entire city, the entire neighborhood. I ask you, may we find common ground this Easter weekend on things that matter for our families, for our communities, for our country, even if the pressure to stick to our cultural and political differences may persist, may refuse, but we work hard. May the love of Jesus Christ that he shared on the cross flow in each one of us this weekend and teach us to love one another, to work together for our collective good. It takes effort, it takes humility, but it works. I am your friend, Odrek Rwabwogo.